Alright, so we're going to reseal the driveway here this morning. We've had a lot of rain and now we're to a point where it's almost too cool outside to apply. The directions state it needs to be 60 degrees and temperature rising. So I did this the other day when it said it wasn't supposed to be raining, and I still ended up with a little mist. But we had a pretty severe crack here, right basically in the middle of the driveway. So I filled it in. I don't think this was the right stuff to use for filling it in, but I didn't have time throughout the summer here working a Saturday job. So this is gonna be good enough for now. Maybe next summer I'll do a better job with it. So right up by the garage here, same type of thing. There's a pretty severe crack right next to the concrete there. You get the same thing by the door. So down in here I kind of tried to level it out. Which again, that's probably not the correct, which is probably not the correct application for this stuff. I think this stuff is the, it's kind of got like a sand texture to it. It's supposed to be able to trowel it, but I'm gonna try it and see. It'll probably crack once it completely dries out, but I want to get it resurfaced. There's a lot of cracks, and if we end up with a really wet winter, you'll end up expanding these cracks with the freezing and thawing. So I'm gonna get set up here. We're gonna sweep it down, blow it off, and then we'll set up and do some time lapse with this. So this is what I'm using. 10 times. It's supposed to have a 10-year warranty. The last stuff I used was actually a product made by Blackjack, and that also was like a 10-year, and it's pretty close to 10. I'm gonna say we're at 9 years on the last time I resealed it, and you can tell it definitely needs it. So we'll get to it here in a second. Alright, so this is what we're using. This is what it looks like. Obviously we gotta stir it up here. These pails were on sale for $22, I would say it's about $23 a pail, so got close to $100 in sealant plus whatever it was for the crack fill. I think that was probably another $50 I spent in that. So, and it says it's supposed to be fast drying time, foot travel in 1 hour, so we'll see what happens here. Alright, so it's all completed here. It's starting to dry off. I don't know if this stuff is going to last as long as the last stuff I used. The last stuff was made by Blackjack, and this stuff, I don't even know. It's whatever Menards carries, Seal Best 1000. But looking at like some of the cracks here, it didn't really fill them in. The last stuff I used was much thicker, at least it seemed like it. The Blackjack stuff, you had to stir it up a lot more. It was much thicker at the bottom of the pail. This stuff, when I stirred it, it was basically like water. It wasn't very thick at all, which was kind of surprising. I thought it was going to be more like the Blackjack stuff. This stuff did have like a sand or a grit to it, but like I said, it definitely didn't settle out. It stayed suspended in the sealer or whatever. So, and I don't know, I was going to do it with the squeegee when I started and just pull it across, but now I'm looking at it, there's spots here that didn't even cover it, like the spot right here. You can see that the white came right through, so that's when I just decided I was going to brush it, and that's how I did it last time. It leaves brush marks, but it goes on much thicker, so I don't know. We'll see how this how long this lasts and how it weathers over the winter. I'll probably have to do it again in spring, maybe with some better stuff. So I'll show you. Oh, I'll go over by the sidewalk here. I'll show you how I did that. So here was a pretty good crack that I used that fill stuff on. You can kind of still see where the crack was, and then over in here I brushed it over this, but still maybe those cracks were just a little too big. I should have hit that with some crack filler first. But I know if I have somebody come in and they spray it, they're not going to do a very good job. So like with the concrete here, I didn't want to get any of that sealer on the concrete, so what I did was actually taped the edge so I didn't get that. This is just a piece of remainder here from something else. I taped it and then I went ahead and sealed it just so I didn't end up with anything on the concrete, because I know my dad had it done, and those guys will come in, they'll end up spraying it all over your house and all over everything else. I think next time when I do it too, to start, I'm going to use a paintbrush to get up right by the house, because I couldn't get as close as I'd like. So, and like I said, it's not very even by the garage door there. There's definitely some issues underneath the surface there, so I'll probably will get some sort of filler stuff and see if I can fill that in a little bit better, and then maybe go through and reseal this a little bit. But it's better than what it was, that's for sure. So hopefully it holds up. So, and I get to take a pail back. I only used three pails of stuff, which is pretty good. I thought last time I used 4. So, all right, that's gonna be it for now.